Okay, everyone, so let us start our session with a prayer. Let us all bow down our head and feel the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit, Amen. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, good morning everyone. This is Teacher Eva and I will be the one to teach you with a lot of things. So, before that, I would like to ask everyone, how are you feeling right now? Wow, good to hear. So you know what guys, it is good that you are in a positive atmosphere because we will going to dive into an ocean which have the different information about sentences. But before that, let me check first the attendance. Okay, so everyone, listen to me. So if I call your name, please say, "Ma'am, I am here," if you are around. And if the name being called is not around or absent, just say, "Ma'am, he or she is not around." Understand, class? Okay, so Chris Amano, Jan Amantilio, Sander Pacaanas. Okay, so everyone is in the room. Very good. Okay, everyone, so what have you observed during the checking of the attendance? Diba I told you that if the name being called is not around, you are going to say, "Ma'am, he or she is not around." And if you are around, you are going to say, "Ma'am, I am here." So everyone, what have you observed with the conversation that we have lately during the checking of the attendance? Okay, very good. So I am asking and you are responding. So the sentence I use is a question. And you are responding to me the answer of my question, which is, "Ma'am, I am here," and "Ma'am, he or she is not around." So class, with that, I hope that your mind will be filled with a clue for what will be our discussion for today. So okay everyone, so before we dive into our discussion, let us first have a warm-up activity. So everyone, you need to group yourselves into 4 groups, and each group should have one representative to pick a strip of paper that I'll be showing you later on. So first, group yourselves into 4. Okay, so everyone, are you ready? Alright, so the representative from your group will come here and pick a strip of paper for your activity. So here, okay, so open the strip of paper, and whatever is in this strip, you need to do it simultaneously, or you need to deliver the sentence together with your group mates. So I will be giving you 2 minutes to practice with the correct intonation, the correct delivery, for you to be able to deliver us the message for what is the meaning of that sentence through delivering it to us using your voice. So now I will be giving you 2 minutes to practice. So okay everyone, start practicing now. Okay, time's up. So it's already 2 minutes and I hope that everyone is ready now to present. Okay, so group 1. Okay, group 1. Who is group 1? Who are the group 1? Okay, so group 1, please come in front and present the sentence that is in the strip of paper. Wow, what a wonderful presentation, group 1, group 2, and group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4, I mean. So now, I hope that you have already an idea about the topic that we will be tackling now. So with that, I give you that activity for me to know how will you deliver a sentence based on any punctuation used. Just like, for example, it has a period, it has an exclamation mark, it has a question mark. And I give it to you, I instructed it to you because I want to know how deep is your knowledge about sentences. Okay, so everyone present a wonderful presentation, and let's give a round of applause to everybody. Yay! Okay, so next. Okay, so for the next activity, I will be playing a video and you need to write down the dialogue present in the video. And after that, I will instruct you what you need to do. Okay, so first I will be playing the video. Listen carefully and attentively for you to write down the dialogue that is in the video.
Hello, my name is Matt. What's your name? It's great to see you. I'm hungry. Whoa, Toons, you scared me.
Matt, are you hungry?
Yes.
Watch this.
Wow.
Abracadabra. What you want to eat?
I want a banana. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Magic. Cool.
Okay, so everyone, I hope that you have already written the dialogue in the video. And now, I want you to look at the dialogue you have. I want you to look at your notes and analyze the dialogue. Analyze everything in the dialogue. Analyze the sequence of the dialogue. What happens in dialogue, what happens during their conversation. I want you to analyze everything in the dialogue for you to answer the questions that I will be presenting to you after you have analyzed your notes. Okay, so for the first question, who are the speakers? Okay, so for the first question, who are the speakers in the dialogue? Anyone wants to answer? Yes, okay. Very good. So, there were two speakers in the dialogue, and they are Matt and Toons. So, for the second question, who wants to eat banana? Okay, very good. Okay, so for the question number 3, who is hungry? Alright, so very good. It is also Matt who is hungry, and so he wants to eat banana. Okay, so for the next question, we have here how important sentences are in the dialogue. So, what is the importance of the sentences in the dialogue? Anyone who wants to answer? Okay, yes. Alright, very good. So you know what, guys, sentences are so important, not just in the dialogue, but it is also important in every written works. Because just like in the dialogue wouldn't be complete without a sentences. Because how we will going to deliver a message, how we will going to deliver a statement to anyone if we will not going to use sentence. So diba, that is how important sentences are in the dialogue. Without sentences, there will be no dialogue, there will be no conversation, and there will be no written works at all. Okay, understand, class? Alright, so moving on for the last question that we have. How period, question, and exclamation mark differ from one another? Okay, so what are the differences? What are the differences of period, punctuation mark, and exclamation mark? Anyone who wants to volunteer? Alright, yes, go ahead. Okay, very good. So sentences, punctuations, just like for example, period, question mark, and exclamation mark differ from one another according to its use. So they will differ from one another based on the use or based on the function that they will do in the sentence. So just like for example just like for example a period. So we use period to state a statement, to state something, to tell something. So we use period. We use it to, just like for example, when you are stating facts, when you are stating or telling something to your friends, to your relatives, to your parents, to your family, you use period because you are stating something and you are telling something to them. And question mark is used when you are asking a question. Diba? You are using a question mark when you want to ask a question. When you have something that is, you don't know and then you want to clarify it, you want to know more about it, and then you ask a question. And then that question being asked, that question you ask from your friends, you ask from your family, from your relative, it uses a question mark for it to become a question. And then the voice that you will be going to use in that sentence will rise for it to become a question. Diba? So now class, period, question mark, and exclamation mark differ from each other. So moving on to the exclamation mark. So exclamation mark differ from question mark and period because exclamation mark is used when you are surprised. Just like for example, you are surprised and then your voice, because it delivers or it expresses strong feelings wherein you are being surprised for something. And so if you are surprised with something, you have the strong feeling for it. You have the strong feeling about it. And so with that, you are going to say, just like for example, you saw a beautiful house. And with that, you are going to say, what a beautiful house it is. And so with that, you are being surprised. You are being surprised with the house that you saw. Diba? That is the use of exclamation mark. And that the three of them differ from one another because they differ based on how they used in a sentence. They function in a sentence to express feelings, to ask a question, to state something, and to ask for a favor. So that is the difference. Those are the difference of the punctuation, of the exclamation mark, question mark, and period. So with that class, moving on to our discussion, we will now go dive into a notion with a lot of information about sentences. And this is the beginning. Alright, so our topic for today class is the types of sentences. So for the activities that I have given you, I hope that you already have the clue about the use of the sentences, the use of the question mark, the use of a period, and the use of an exclamation mark. And so with that class, I hope that you have already an idea about how we are going to do with a lot of activities that we will be going to do on further discussion. So with that class, I want you to listen carefully and attentively for you to know about the different types of sentences. Okay, so everyone, I want you to repeat after me as I read these sentences present on the screen. So now guys, please repeat after me. I will be the one who talk first and you will follow after me. Okay, so for the declarative sentence, we have here, he talks on his cell phone all day long. Okay, so for the interrogative, is he talking in his cell phone now? Alright, so why does he talk on his cell phone so much? Alright, so he turned off the cell phone, didn't he? Alright, so for the imperative, we have here, so for the imperative, we have here, turn the cell phone now. Alright, so for the exclamatory, we have here, what a lot of time he spends on his phone. Alright, so very good. So, you know what, class? You have the opportunity, you have the talent. You know what? I like the voice, I like the intonation that you have exerted with these sentences. So, I hope, guys, that as we dive along, as we go on continuously with our discussion, you will apply those things in our discussion for you to learn more about the types of sentences. Okay, so let's proceed now with our discussion. Okay, class, so we will be moving on to the first type of sentence, which is the interrogative sentence. Okay, so it states here that the two most common interrogative patterns in English are the yes or no question and the WH question. So both kinds of questions alter the basic declarative word. So both kinds of questions alter the declarative or alter the basic declarative and word order. So it altered the basic declarative word order by putting the verb or part of the verb in front of the subject. Both kinds of questions alter the basic declarative word order by putting the verb in front of the subject. So we have here an example. So we have here different examples. So everyone, okay, class, please read the first sentence. Please read the first one. Okay, so class, please read the first one. Okay, so this sentence is a declarative sentence because it only tells that they were going to a movie. They were going to the movies. So, you know what, class? It is an imperative. It is a declarative one because it only have a period at the end of the sentence. And you know what, class? You know what? This function as a declarative because it only states something. He is only telling something wherein he is only telling that they were going to a movie. So they were going to the movies. So they were only telling that they were going to the movies. So with that, to make it an interrogative one, you know class, that here is the subject, which is they, and the verb are going. And then you know what? The subject here is they and the verb are going. So are function as a verb and it comes after the subject they. So to make it an interrogative one, you need to place the subject. You need to place the verb before the subject. So we have here the verb are. So in the first sentence, they are going to the movies. So we have here the verb are. And this verb should be put before the subject. We have here are as the verb and they as the subject. So are should be put before the subject for it to become an interrogative one. So you know what, that this is a declarative, and for it to become an interrogative, we need to put are first before the subject. So it became here, are they going to the movies? Yes, correct. So class, read the first sentence. Read the first one. Okay, and then the second one. Alright, so class, there's already a difference between the first and the second one, because the first one is only telling something. It is only stating something, while in the second one it is already asking. It already asked something. Are they going to a movie? Yes. And then, for the third sentence, class, please read this one. Alright, so where are they going? So, class, look at these two. Look at these two. These two questions originate from the first sentence, which is they are going to the movies. So they are going to the movies is a declarative sentence. And then to make it an interrogative, we need to transform it into something that is questionable. I mean, we need to transform it into a question form. And so it became here, are they going to the movies? And this question is a yes or no question because it permits the yes or no as an answer of this question. So are they going to a movie? Yes. Are they going to the movies? No. Yes, that's it. So this question is an interrogative one, and it is a yes or no question because it permits the yes or no answer for that question. And then look at the third one. Where are they going? So this sentence is a WH question because, class, it became a WH question because it uses an interrogative word, which is where. So where are they going? So where is the WH question in this sentence? Okay, so very good. The WH question in this sentence is where, and it became is where. And so this question became a WH question because it already have an interrogative word, which is where. So where are they going? So it limits, it permits to answer a direct question, direct answer. It permits to answer a direct answer. So where are they going? They are going to the movies. So I hope, class, that you have understand the differences of these three, and I hope that you were able to classify and identify the WH question from the yes or no question. Alright, so in this example, the first part of the verb are going is placed ahead of the subject called auxiliary. So when the verb is placed after, before, ahead of the subject, it is called an auxiliary. So in this example, the first part of the verb the verb which is placed ahead of the subject is called an auxiliary or auxiliary verb. So as their label suggests, yes or no question permits the answer of a yes or no answer, and the WH question permits to answer a direct answer, which is just like, for example, where are they going? So where are they going? They were going to the movies. So where are they going? To the movies. Yes, that's it for the interrogative one. So another method of asking question, more common in writing, more common in speech than in writing, is the tag question. It is a repetition of the subject and the auxiliary verb in reverse order. So, kumbaga, the repetition of the subject and the verb in a reverse order, which is added at the end of the sentence. So it is added at the end of the sentence, or should I say at the end of the declarative sentence. Its main purpose is to ask for a confirmation. It is to ask or to seek a confirmation of the expressed idea. So, class, that is being expressed in the statement. So, just like, for example, here, your mother is a nice person, didn't she? So this is an example of a tag question because the auxiliary verb and the subject is being repeated at the end of the declarative sentence. So class, please read this one. Okay, so your mother is a nice person, didn't she? So we have here the auxiliary verb, which is didn't, and she, which is the subject. So if you have observed, you can observe that in this sentence, your mother is a nice person. So this sentence is a form of declarative sentence because it states that your mother is a nice person. It states something, it expresses something, it tells us something about your mother. And so it became a declarative. So it became a declarative sentence. And then for it to become an interrogative sentence by just making it a tag, by just making it as a tag question, you need to form a tag question. You need to form a question at the end of the declarative sentence or at the end of this sentence. And so the tag question here is, isn't she? So this statement, it asks for a confirmation wherein you said that your mother is a nice person. And so for you, you are being curious, you are being confused, and so you need to ask for a confirmation. And so you said, your mother is a nice person, didn't she? So you are asking that you need to confirm something. You are asking for a clarification, you are asking for a confirmation, and you are seeking for it to confirm that it is true that your mother is nice. So that's it, guys. So diba, it says here that it is a repetition of the subject and the auxiliary verb in a reverse order. So when we say reverse order, kabaliktaran na siya from this sentence. So it says here that your mother is a nice person. So this is a declarative sentence. And so we have here the verb, the auxiliary verb is. So diba, we have here the auxiliary verb is and the subject mother. So mother, for it to become a tag question, you need to transform mother into its pronoun. So the pronoun of mother is she. So she is the pronoun for a mother. So we need to put it there in a reverse order. Reverse order because your mother is a nice person. So in this sentence, mother, which is the subject, is placed or comes before the verb. It comes before the verb or the auxiliary verb, which is. So diba? It comes first before the auxiliary verb. So we have here the auxiliary verb is and the subject mother. So mother, which is the subject, comes before or comes first before the auxiliary verb is. And so, because it states here that tag question is a repetition of a subject and an auxiliary verb in a reverse order. So reverse order, we need to put it at the end of the declarative sentence, isn't she? So isn't she because it is the auxiliary verb. We have here the auxiliary verb. So the auxiliary verb, we need to reverse it we need to reverse it. So it becomes here, isn't she? So isn't here is already the auxiliary verb and she is the pronoun for mother. And so we need to put it at the end of the declarative sentence to become it as a tag question. So now, it is already, your mother is a nice person, isn't she? So that's the use of a tag question. We use tag question for what? Very good. So we use tag questions to ask and to seek confirmation about the idea that being expressed in the statement. So class, for further information, I will be presenting to you the form, meaning, and the use of interrogative sentence. So interrogative question is in this kind of order. So the first here is the auxiliary verb, followed by the subject, followed by the main verb, and a punctuation mark. So remember, class, bear it in your mind that in interrogative question, there should always be a question mark. Because, you know, when you are asking something, when you are asking for someone, when you are writing a question, you should always have a question mark, because you wouldn't consider that thing as a question if it didn't possess a question mark at the end of the sentence or at the end of the question. Understand, class? So here, the auxiliary verb plus the main verb, plus the subject plus the main verb and the punctuation mark. So just like, for example, do you speak English? So we have here the auxiliary verb. We have here the auxiliary verb do plus the subject you and the main verb speak. And so this class, this pattern, the meaning of this pattern is to ask, the meaning of this pattern is asking an information about that person. So you are asking an information about that person. You are asking if he speaks English. So in this question, you are asking, do you speak English? So guys, you are asking an information about something, about someone. So you know that an auxiliary verb comes first before the subject, before the main verb. So this is an example of an interrogative question that asks an information. So this pattern is used to gather. This pattern is used to gather information, to seek information from other people, from other person. So everyone, please read this sentence. Please read this question. Okay, very good. I like your intonation. So moving on for the next one, we have here the next pattern of an interrogative. Main verb plus the subject plus the question mark. So we have here, are you sure? So the subject here, so we have here the main verb, which is are. The main verb is are. So this became a main verb because it comes before the subject. It comes before the subject. And the be verb here is are. Diba? The be verb here is are. Are you sure? Plus the subject. Be verb plus the subject. So we have here the subject you. So in this statement, in this question, the pattern is be verb plus the subject. So are you sure? Are you sure? So we have here are as the be verb and you as the subject. And this means that it's asked for a clarification. You're asking for a clarification. So this is used to clarify. So next, we have here the next one. The WH word plus the auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb and a question mark. So for example, when does the movie started? So you are asking an information. You are asking when the movie started. So here we have here the WH word, which is when, and follows by the auxiliary verb, which is does, and plus the subject, which is movie, and the question mark, the main verb started. So we have here the WH question, which is when, and followed by the auxiliary verb, which is does, and plus the subject, which is movie, and followed by the main verb, which is started. So this pattern means that it is an open-ended question that asks for a direct answer. So when does the movie started? So we have here when does the movie started? So it asks for an open-ended. It is an open-ended question because the answer of it is a direct answer, a direct information. And this pattern is used to ask a direct information, a direct answer from someone whom you are asking for. So, then next is that for the tag question, we have here the pattern. So the pattern of a tag question is the subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb plus auxiliary plus not plus subject, or the subject could be, the subject is a personal pronoun, the personal pronoun of the subject, plus a question mark. So we have here an example. You are working, aren't you? Very good. So this tag question is used to, this pattern of a tag question is used to confirm. It is to confirm something when the statement is true or not. You need to use a tag question for you to confirm about the statement that is being expressed in the sentence. So alright, so that's it class for the interrogative question. I hope that you were able to gather the information, and I hope that you were able to think about the information or the techniques, the types that is being used, or the types that can be used in an interrogative sentence or interrogative question. So again, class, for an interrogative question, what would be the punctuation mark used? It is a question mark. Okay, very good. So we are done with the interrogative one. So moving on, we are moving to another type of sentence. Okay, class, so now moving on to another type of sentence is the imperative sentence, or it also called as the command sentence, because you know, class, the imperative sentence differ from the declarative sentence, and it also differ from an interrogative sentence, because when an interrogative sentence uses question mark to form a question, the the imperative sentence uses period. You know, that uses period. So we have here the imperative sentence described so far in this chapter have been two different structures. Two-part structures consisting of a subject and a predicate. So guys, and a predicate. So however, in the case of imperative sentences or commands, subject is nearly always understated, although clearly understood. So in an imperative, using the format or using the pattern of subject plus a predicate, the subject there is not being mentioned, or the subject is understated, or the subject isn't stated in the statement, or it's not stated in an imperative sentence. And imperative sentence, only the predicate is being stated in the imperative sentence. However, the sentence without the subject being stated, the sentence or the predicate itself can clearly be understood. So we have here an example, the subject, which is you. So the meaning, why it has a parenthesis. So it has a parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we have here the subject, which is you. So the parenthesis only implies that the subject is understated, or the subject can be stated, or the subject cannot be stated. The subject can be stated, or the subject may not be stated in the statement or in an imperative sentence. So we have here subject plus a predicate. So you know what, class? The subject, the parenthesis, inside the parenthesis we have here the subject you, which is, we have here the subject you, and it only implies that the subject you being in a parenthesis, being inside a parenthesis, it only implies that the subject is understated, or you can write the subject, you can also not write the subject. So the predicate here is sit down. So as you can see, class, when you combine the subject and the predicate, so by the way, class, have you ever know about the subject and the predicate? The subject is someone who does the action, or he or she is the doer of the action, or should I say, the subject is the one whom the sentence is all about. So the subject is the one whom the sentence is all about. So the sentence is all about the subject. The subject is the one being pointed out by the predicate. And then the predicate is the one that tells about the subject. The predicate is the one that tells about the subject, or it tells something about the subject. So we have your subject. We have here the predicate. So the predicate sit down tells about the subject, which is you. And you is the receiver of the action. The subject is the receiver of the action, which is being applied by the predicate. And so with that, class, having here you as the subject and predicate as sit down, and sit down as a predicate, we have here you sit down. So when you remove you as the subject, we only have predicate, which is sit down. So sit down can still be understood without the subject you, right? So sit down. When you're saying sit down, you are commanding someone to sit down, right? You are saying sit down. You sit down. You are commanding someone to sit down. You are telling someone to sit down. You are commanding them to sit down. That's it, an imperative. An imperative is a command sentence. Another example, you in parentheses, take your time is the predicate. So take your time without you as a subject can still be understood, can still clearly be understood without you as a subject. So the predicate itself completes the action. The predicate itself completes the sentence, completes the imperative sentence, because you are saying take your time. You are referring someone, you are commanding someone to take his time. You are commanding someone to take his time without the use of a subject, and it can still clearly be understood. So class, I want you to read these two sentences. So everyone, please read the first one. The predicate itself. Please read the predicate itself. Okay, and then the second one. Alright, so now the subject and the predicate. You need to read the subject and the predicate. Okay, come again. Alright, so next. Oh, okay, so very good. So class, that's for the imperative. To make it simple, imperative is a command sentence wherein it commands something. It commands someone to do something. So to give you an idea, to give you further information about it, I will be giving you the form, meaning, and use of imperative sentence. So the form of an imperative sentence. So the subject, it has the subject. The first one, So the first one we have here the subject plus the predicate. The subject plus the predicate. So the subject plus a predicate is the first pattern, or one of the pattern, one of the form of the imperative sentence. So just like for example, go out, or you go out. We have here the subject you in a parenthesis, which means that it is understated, or it could not be stated, or it can be stated. And then the predicate, which is go out. So the subject plus a predicate, which is you go out or go out, means that someone is commanding you, or you are commanding someone to do so. And it is used to command. That pattern or that form is used to command. And then the second pattern we have here, do not plus subject plus predicate, or do not plus predicate. So we have here, just like for example, do not give up, or don't give up. So we have here do not, which is don't. We have here don't plus the predicate, which is give up. So don't give up. So here class, the meaning of this pattern is to giving an advice. The meaning of this is giving an advice, which is used to give an advice. And next one we have here, polite word plus verb. So you know what, class? In a command or in an imperative sentence, you can use the polite words such as kindly, please, diba? You can use it. You can use a polite word just kindly, please. So this one states that, just like for example, kindly forward this letter to her. So kindly forward this letter to her. So we have here the polite word, which is kindly, and the verb, which is forward. So kindly plus forward, kindly forward this letter to her. So the meaning of this is you are requesting. You are requesting someone to do this thing with the use of a polite word, which is kindly. And it is used to request something. It is used to request someone to do something. It is used to request. So that's it, everyone, for the imperative. So again, an imperative sentence is also called as the command sentence, which is used to ask for, to request, to command, and to give advice. So it is very different from interrogative one. Yes, class. So moving on for the next type of sentence, we have here. Okay, class, so for the next type of sentence, we have here the declarative sentence. Sentence is the most common type of sentence or the most basic type of sentence, and its purpose is to state and to relay information, and it is punctuated with a period. So, you know what, class, as what I have said earlier, declarative sentence is just like a simple sentence wherein it's just like a sentence or a normal sentence that tends to relay information, that tends to tell us something. So just like, for example, we have here, the boy walked home. So this is a declarative sentence because this relays an information and this tells us that the boys walked home. So with that, we have the next one, I love honey. So I want you guys to read this, by the way. I want you to read these sentences based on the punctuation mark used or based on the type of sentence it is. So guys, so class, read the first sentence. Okay, class, so we have here the form, meaning, and use of declarative sentence. So for the form, we have the subject plus verb. Only in declarative sentence, we only have a subject plus verb. So the subject plus verb, we only have Ram as the subject and speaks as the verb. So Ram speaks Chinese. So Ram speaks Chinese is an example of a declarative sentence because it has the subject, which is Ram, and the verb, which is speaks, and it relays information using or punctuated by a period, and it is punctuated by a period. So for the form, we have here subject plus verb. So we have here Ram as the subject and verb and speaks as verb. So to form a sentence, Ram speaks Chinese. So this is an example of a declarative sentence because it relays us information that Ram speaks Chinese. So this meaning is tell us something. So the meaning of this pattern is to tell us something. It tells us an information and it tells us something about Ram. And it is used to make a statement. So this pattern used to make a statement. So that's it for declaratives. Just very simple, class. So I want you to read this one again. Okay, so very good. Ram speaks Chinese. So moving on to our last type of sentence, we have here the exclamatory sentence. So we usually think of the exclamatory sentence or an exclamation as any sentence spoken with heightened emotion, written with an exclamation point. So class, I want you to read these sentences based on how it should be read, based on how it should be voiced out, using the exclamation or using this punctuation, which is the exclamation mark. So I want you guys to read these 3 sentences aloud. So the first one, read first the first sentence. Come again, come again. Alright, so for the next one. Alright, so for the last one. Love how you read these sentences using the exclamation mark and realize that you have the potential to voice out anything. You have the potential of speaking. You have the potential of using intonation. Yes, and it's very good because as you enter in any literature, as you enter in any readings, you need to accompany it with your skills of speaking, because those words, those sentences, those paragraphs, they have the meaning. The meaning of those paragraphs will based on how you will going to speak them out, and then the way you speak them will based on the punctuations used on that. So you need to know the use of the punctuations, the type of sentence it is, for you to know how you will going to deliver that sentence, how you will going to speak that sentence, where you will be going to put your intonation, how you will going to put your intonation in that sentence, so that you can deliver the meaning of that sentence to the listener, or to your classmates, to your friends, or to whoever it is. As long as you have the ability, you have the skill on how you will going to do it, you have an idea on how you will going to deliver that sentence for them to know the meaning of it. So class, so I want you to know that these sentences is an example of an exclamatory sentence, or of an exclamatory sentence which uses an exclamation point or an exclamation mark to express an emotion, to express a feeling in that sentence. So class, I am presenting to you the form, meaning, and use of the exclamatory sentence. So the first form is what plus a plus a or an plus adjective plus noun plus exclamation point. So this is the form of an exclamatory sentence. So the first is what plus a or an plus adjective. So the form of an exclamatory sentence, we have here what plus a or an plus adjective plus noun and exclamation point or an exclamation mark. So just like, for example, what a wonderful day. So we have here what plus a or an. So we have used a, what a plus adjective, which is wonderful, plus noun, which is day, and an exclamation mark. So what a wonderful day. So that means being amazed. You are being amazed by the day. You are being amazed in the day. What a wonderful day. You are being amazed by the day. You are being amazed for what is on that day. You are amazed on the day. So it is used to complement. Okay, so it is used to complement. So next we have here how plus adjective or adverb plus an exclamation point. So guys, we have here an example. How rude you are. How rude you are. So we have an example. How rude you are. So how plus adjective, which is rude, plus noun, which is you, and then an exclamation point. So how rude you are. How rude you are. It means that you are angry. You are angry. And then it is used to express anger. It is used to express an emotion. It is used to express anger, which means you already have the, you already have the feelings. You already have a strong feeling about that thing. Yeah, so that's it. That thing. So class, I want you to read the first example we have here. I want you to read this one. Alright, so this one. Okay, very good. So class, that's it for the 4 types of sentences we have. I hope that you were able to differentiate the 4 types of sentences. So wrapping up So wrapping up the discussion that we have the four types of sentences, and these include declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and an exclamatory sentence. And in an interrogative, we have used the punctuation, which is the question mark, to make the sentence a question. And it is used to ask something. It is used to ask a question. And the next one, we have an imperative sentence, which is used to ask a favor, which is used to command, which is used to advise, and which is used to request. And it is punctuated using a period. And then the next one, we have the declarative sentence. And then the declarative sentence, tells us something. It tells us an information about a specific thing, and it is punctuated using a period. And then for the exclamatory sentence is punctuated with an exclamation point or an exclamation mark, and it is used to express a strong feeling about a specific thing. It is used to express surprise. It is used to express a compliment. It is used to express an anger. An exclamation point or an exclamatory sentence used to express a strong feeling or a strong emotion about a specific thing. So that's it, class, for the four types of sentences. I hope that you were able to cater them all in your mind, and I hope that you were able to know them all and understand the differences of these four types of sentences. You need to be able to know that you have really understood our discussion. We will go. Okay, class, so for me to be able to know that you have really understood our discussion, we will going to have, and you will respond to me the answer. You will identify if it is a declarative, an interrogative, an imperative, or an exclamatory sentence. Okay, class, are you ready? Alright, so number 1, just respond me orally. Okay, so you need to respond me orally for what is the answer of the sentence that I will be telling to you, that I will be presenting, or that I will be delivering to you. Okay, so number 1, I am beautiful. Am I? So what kind of sentence is that? Okay, very good. Number 2, Belinda eats banana. Very good. So, what a beautiful mother you have. Next, number 3. What a beautiful mother you have. Very good. So, number 4. Please tell me your name. Number 5. Kindly turn off your microphone. Very good. So, jeepers, you scared the life out of me. Very good. So, I will always love you. Very good. Then, English is your favorite subject, isn't it? Who? Okay, so for the number 9, where are you going? Very good. So for the last one, how kind of a young boy you are. Okay, so for number 10, how kind of a young man you are. Very good. Oh, very good. So, okay, class, I know that you've already understood the lesson, and I believe that you will be going to use these lessons that you learned in your future writings, in the future speeches that you will be going to do in the future. And so for your activity, I want you to group yourselves into 5 groups. So we will be grouping you into 5, and each group will construct a poem using the 4 different types of sentences. So on your poem composition, you need to write the declarative sentence, the imperative sentence, the interrogative sentence, and the exclamatory sentence. So the sentences you are going to use in your poem should be the 4 types of sentences. Okay, class. So 4 types of sentences. So with that, I want you to group yourselves into 5, and after that you will be going to present your output in the class. Okay, so I will just be giving you 5 minutes to So I will be just giving you 10 minutes to finish your work. Okay, class, so time is up. So your work is being rated. So your work will be rated based on the holistic rubric we have here. Wow, what a wonder. Okay, class, so thank you so much. What a wonderful. Okay, so guys, you know what? You've done very well in our discussion, and you've done so well with all the activities that we have. So I want you guys to please give a round of applause to yourselves. Okay, so guys, before we end our discussion, before we end our session, I want you to have an assignment. And for your assignment, you need to construct 5 sentences in each type of sentence, and you need to present those sentences on our next meeting. So class, that's all for our next meeting. Understand, class? Have you understand your assignment? You need to construct 5 sentences for every type of sentence, and those sentences that you will be constructing will be present many things about the types of sentences which you can use in your future writing, presenting on your future journey. So class, thank you for your participation. Goodbye and God bless.